He has just such a different style. He's got these familiars.
He reads books. He's like reading a novel.
And there's
Read
nothing
the
more
paperback.
badass than that. We know that. We know that there's nothing more badass than being well read.
Hey guys, welcome back to PlayStation Underground. You got Kristen, Tim, and Sid here. We are playing Devil May Cry 5, checking out the character V. We're on a PS4 Pro right now. V is a brand new character to this illustrious series, and so I'm super, super excited to dive into some of his gameplay, see what his familiars are like, see how his fighting tactics look in comparison to Nero and Dante. We'll play a little bit with Dante a little bit later, but for now, Tim, you're driving. Tell us a little bit about V.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been excited to check him out for forever, I feel like, since he was first announced as being in the game. So I'm going to cut right into combat here. The big thing with V is that he has these familiars. So you got Griffin here, which is this, lightning shooting bird,
Nice.
of course, and Shadow, who is the kitty cat here, or Shadow in the form of a kitty cat, that are going to help me out through battle. And each of the three different playable characters have a different style to them. And in the case of V here, obviously he's got the animal familiars, but also he's got this cane. You have to swoop in here to finish them off and kind of deliver the coup de grace. And if I do it quickly enough, usually it gives me a little bit of a rank in my style. But
Apocalyptic.
I'm all about that cane.
it's a cool look. Have you considered trying one?
I've actually considered. I have
Yeah?
considered a cane, like a nice hardwood cane.
Oh man.
Well,
I don't use it for
obviously
stabbing
being
people in
inspired
the stomach, but I mean, yeah, it's just something classy about it, and that is a big part of this series. I've been a huge fan of Devil May Cry ever since the original, way back on the original PS2, and it's just such a style to it. It's always had that really, really refined sense of style.
What
yeah,
is
I mean,
this?
up to and including surfing on the Shadow of Shadow.
Totally, just one more crazy detail here in Devil May Cry.
I love it. To your point, Sid, these games are so stylish. All of the fight moves are just like super kinetic.
I'm digging those tattoos too. What's the story with those?
Yeah,
Well-
so those are the actual familiars themselves, like living on his skin.
So you'll notice when we were just walking around before, he's like fully tatted up. And then when Griffin and Shadow are fighting with him, and then later when his third familiar pops out, he becomes entirely tattoo-less because they basically live on his skin. There's also a bit of a flare with his hair that we might see a little bit later.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you got Griffin, Shadow, and then Nightmare, which is tied to my Devil Trigger, which I want to pull at one point here.
Nice.
I'm a big sucker for calling in familiars to do your bidding, and like you don't get your hands dirty unless you need to.
Yeah.
Orbs.
That's very much a Tim Terry move.
Yes, thank you. You've noted.
Graphics are looking really, really nice here. Great animation. This is this the RE engine?
I believe so.
This is the one that was introduced on Resident Evil 7. We saw it most recently, Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2, correct.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Quite versatile. First-person shooter, third-person shooter, fast, crazy action game. Good frame rate here, too.
So part of what we also just saw there, that seems like it's a bit of a dead end, but because stuff is happening in the storyline with Nero in different parts of the game, while you're playing as V or while you're playing as Nero, you can be clearing sections of this map that might affect another character.
Really?
So potentially, oh, white hair.
Yep, we got it.
We got our nightmare
Here
brewing.
comes Shadow.
So notice how his
Nightmare's
arms still have
here.
some tattoos on them, but it's definitely a lot more clear than they were before Nightmare was unleashed.
Is this Nightmare?
Yes,
Yeah.
is him. Yeah.
Whoa. This
Yeah.
is a move?
Yeah. So
This is your third familiar.
I can keep attacking with Griffin and Shadow and have them doing my bidding still, and then let her rip with Nightmare as well.
This is nuts.
There we go.
And now if you notice in the very background, Tim, if you want to pan over, you can see
Yes.
Nero is fighting over in his side of the story.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that kind of stuff.
Which is really interesting. From what we know is that they're also that can be data from other characters, or from
Really?
other players' playthroughs. So it's like get ghost data, or sometimes it can be like a live player in that session.
That is awesome.
Which blows my mind.
That is totally
Yeah.
mind-blowing. I
Yeah.
love that. It reminds me of like Liu Kang and the Mortal Kombat 2, the Pit 2,
Yes.
standing in the background like that, just like 10 times cooler.
Yes, 100%. Oh, I love that you can take Griffin and ride him out of battle and then zip back in, and so just as stylish as as I like. And I've played a good bit, like like you two, of the previous games, and you know, I loved it when they introduced Nero with Devil May Cry 4, and it's just V just feels like he clicks right into the formula. I've already felt like it's a totally different rhythm. You know, softening him up with your familiars and then zipping into to go ahead and finish them off is totally different, but it feels really familiar already.
He has just such a different style. He's got these familiars. He's got these tattoos. He's like this brooding dude.
He like
I hear he reads.
He reads books. He's like reading a novel.
And there's nothing more badass than that. We know that. We know that there's nothing more badass than being well read. So see if we can get my surf on here. Cowabunga.
Ooh.
I'm digging the performance. It's nice and smooth.
Yeah. You know, you got two familiars. You get crazy combat going with lots of enemies, and then you have your familiars doing stuff, and like it holds up.
Creepy crawlies.
All right.
Oh yeah.
You could potentially unleash your nightmare here.
Oh my gosh, my nightmares.
Do you dare?
I will. you know that recurring one I have about how I missed the math class the entire semester? Is that what appears? Where is he? Okay, he's right there.
He's just chilling.
Oh, he went away. No. Come on back. I just really like this animation from coming back, so. Oh, he just falls in? That's so good. I didn't know he had different entrance animations. All right. Listen, buddy, I'm going to send these guys after you. I'm going to send him.
Now, is there a way for you to influence what the familiars are doing or who they're attacking?
They're tied to triangle and square, so like, yeah, both of them have their own independent face button, and what's crazy about it is you can actually be like holding triangle to charge one up, and then tapping square, and it's kind of like thumb gymnastics here. Like I haven't actually had to manipulate a controller like that much in the past.
That's interesting.
Like, you can also set up customized settings though, so if you want to set something to a different trigger, absolutely go for it.
And then circle's sort of the death blow with the cane. Is that the idea? Got it.
Yeah, and then when you've called in Nightmare, then circle will control him.
Got it. I'm into this.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and should be able to get that. Okay, cool. Got it.
Got to get them all.
Let's want to smash that. Nice.
I like you just surfing into it.
It's important. You know, it's not practical always, but style is really king here.
Style is substance in Devil May Cry.
That's very good.
Not really. But I appreciate your kind words.
No, yeah, I'm on board.
Creepy crawlies.
Okay. I got to remember, well, I actually have full Devil Trigger gauge, so I'll drop in Nightmare here again.
Whoa!
Oh, and he sends things crumbling. Oh, I love that. Get up, buddy.
I also just love how the music ramps up as this gets crazier.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
The music is definitely influenced by some of the action that's happening on screen. That's cool.
Get him. Slice and dice. And so also, you know, my understanding here is that the familiars here, Griffin and Shadow, are kind of reminiscent of some enemy types you'll see in like early Devil May Cry game.
Oh, nice.
And I definitely remember fighting like, you know, enemies that looked like jungle cats and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's
not necessarily the same one.
Right.
Just inspired by.
Oh. Don't touch me or my animal friends ever.
Man.
Bam. Oh, I like.
How does that feel? Like, does it?
It feels really good. Like when he kicked up some of the asphalt there, like it felt really weighty. All right. So
this is almost the anti-Dante, the way that V fights here. Like he's not just jumping in there, twirling and hacking and slashing. I mean, he's like kind of hanging back.
Yeah, he's calculated. He's like kind of like the shot caller here. You know, I don't know how
he goes in for the kill at the end.
I don't know how well read Dante is, but you know.
Double S.
Got double S.
Nicely done.
If I can swoop in there for the finishing blow with the cane, I can maybe get. Oh, there we go. So that should get me close to double S. EC.
A mere B.
There we go.
B for bodacious.
Thank you. Come on, buddy. Come on, little guys. I should charge up some of these too. Okay, hey, I'll take it. And I'm in there.
Excellent.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you. I'm just a big sucker for riding Griffin out.
That's awesome.
And then zipping back in with the cane.
Just going in.
This is like one of the biggest sort of refinements or evolutions, if you will, that I've seen for Devil May Cry. And I've played virtually all of them, and they've all introduced like a lot of really cool new wrinkles. But it's a very different take on sort of that frenetic gameplay. Very inspired, very cool.
Yeah, definitely. And it's that beautiful thing that I love about Devil May Cry, where I almost feel like, you know, we're being dropped in with a lot more abilities and options than players might have at this point in the game. Just
That's nice to point out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. We got a triple S. So
Smoking
there's
sexy
there's a lot to grapple with, but I feel like these games are also really good about easing you in and making you feel like you have space and time to sort of get used to all the new systems.
I was going to say there's a void mode where it's sort of like a bit of a training area that you could choose the different characters and go through and practice different enemy types, different fighting styles, and sort of get the hang of everything before you jump in.
So we have 3 playable characters this time, right?
Yes. So Nero, Dante, and V are all playable throughout the game at different points of the game.
Okay, cool. So it jumps around.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you know, it's like I've only had a little bit of time with V here, and
already you got the hang of it.
Already, yeah, and with way more abilities than I would have out of the gate when first picking him up, and I feel like I've already, you know, played this character. You know, he just feels like he fits in with the DNA of Devil May Cry so well. Yeah.
So what are these like circles that sort of go around the enemy?
Oh, yeah.
How do you trigger that?
So I've been looking at that for, you know, I know that I'm focused on that enemy as well by holding down R1, but that's also the health meter. And then once it clicks over to the sort of orangish color is when I know that I'm ready to finish him off with the cane.
I see.
And then that's also a meter, so you'll see that's kind of gradually depleting, which means I really want to get in there and finish him off while I can.
Nice.
See ya.
To the breadbasket.
That's right.
I love how those slowed down zoom-ins right at the end, sort of reminiscent of DMC.
Oh, yeah. Which was a really stylish game.
I was going to say, I like how, you know, this is part of the mainline series, but they've definitely added little nods to that game. All right, I was going to say, let's get a little taste of this boss, and then maybe we'll hop over to Dante.
Yeah, it wouldn't be complete without a massive, crazy boss battle in Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah, and I'm getting, like, almost like Cerberus vibes. Like from DMC3.
I wonder if you cut off one, another will grow back, and then you got this guy in the center.
Oh, man, maybe I'll get Nightmare involved. Why not?
Oh, there you go.
I got a giant monster, too.
It'll be exciting to see the full fight when you play on March 8th. All right, you guys want to hop over to Dante?
Let's do it.
Love that.
All right, y'all. We are back. Now we're playing as Dante. We are in a very creepy looking area. And I am chasing after right now my friends Lady and Trish are helping me explore this area.
Yeah, Trish returning from the first Devil May Cry. I think that Lady made her appearance in, I want to say Devil May Cry 3?
2, I think. 3?
Oh, 3, yeah, okay, gotcha. But yeah, so Dante's obviously like the mainstay. He's the through line for the entire series. But he's been called in for this mission by V. There's lots of things that are amiss. There's a demonic tree that's spreading its roots. There's maybe some efforts to resurrect a powerful demon or summon it. So more TBD, but Dante's of course involved. And he's got his Cavalier.
Cavalier, the
I love it. I was going to say, so we got a lot of different weapons here to play with.
Yeah, Dante's depth is like staggering almost.
Yeah. And again, this is where we cheated a little bit. We've got some stuff you won't necessarily have when you play this
this
in the
particular
final
level.
Yeah.
Right. But why hold back?
So he's got 4 different styles. He's got the Trickster, the Swordmaster, Royal Guard, and Gunslinger. Which people might remember from Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4. But then on top of that, he has all his different weapons, both for melee and for long range. So it's just you just mix and match all of these, which I think right now we're showing off the
Swordmaster.
He's got the Sword Sparta, and then you just have the gauntlets and the boots of is it Balrog?
Yeah, Balrog boots. Yep.
Yep.
Da, da, da.
Which makes me think of Street Fighter.
It does.
Yeah.
Trouble.
How does that feel, Kristen?
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of this game. Like, nothing gives me more joy than just revving on these guys and having them explode.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I think the trick to Dante really is remembering to switch through those different modes. Like, I'll catch myself, I'll be pulling out the gun, and I'll be like, oh yeah, switch to the gunslinger mode. It's going to add a lot more oomph to those shots. It helps for long range. You have the trickster at the top that sort of is going to help you move through the world a little bit faster. You have... I cannot remember the name.
Oh, this is Royal Guard.
Royal Guard, there it is.
Yeah, what's the story with that one?
He can help you block, basically, when you're in a fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And if I time it... Oh, if I time it right...
Yeah, when you're
Come
surrounded
me.
by 3 3 scythe-wielding maniac
Oh, wow.
demons. Oh, and a flying guy's got involved.
I like the breakdancing stuff.
I
That's
know.
really cool.
Yep.
And
Just
right into the motorcycle.
switching right back and forth. That's the best part.
It's a visual feast.
I'm just going hell here.
I mean, if attacking with a motorcycle is what made it into the game, I'd love to know the stuff that was like left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah,
it's got to be
exactly.
fascinating.
Okay. So you got the Coyote A, which is again. So it's like there's so much new stuff in here too. But I mean, I have obviously vivid memories
Whoa.
of first using Ebony and Ivory's twin pistols. Oh, so we got Double Trigger activated here.
So you also regain a little bit of health when you use your double trigger.
Perfect.
So it can be a little strategic.
Yeah, get a little offensive and defensive there. Nice block.
Breakdancing.
Excellent.
It just gives me so much joy.
C is for crazy.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Keeping them all in the air. Excuse me.
And this is you juggling these all within one single style.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
These.
Oh, I definitely remember these
Oh,
guys.
creepy crawlies.
Yeah. I
Big
think
scissors.
if I remember from Devil May Cry, like I remember encountering these enemy types right after you get the shotgun, and it was just like blasting them with their mask, and it was just really satisfying.
Ooh.
There it is. That
Nice
was
work.
very satisfying. You are correct now. Uh-oh.
Just got one single scissor side, but still making it work.
Excellent.
Oh, up to S
The dream.
for scissors.
Gotta get up to
You're
him.
doing great.
Got the death metal in the background. You got.
They know the vibe they're going for,
Yeah.
and Capcom nails it.
I was gonna say, since they're up in the air, I'm gonna keep using this gunslinger mode because it's nice and long range.
Definitely.
But yeah, that I almost take it for granted now, but that whole ebb and flow of like keeping the combo going with long distance like projectile weapons and then
Yep.
closing the gap is like,
It's something very unique to
Yeah.
Devil May Cry.
yeah, it feels great still.
Uh-oh.
And we got another one.
Come here. Let me run over you.
Dismal.
Working my way up.
Have it. Oh. Gosh, it's just so dangerous. Don't try this at home.
There it is.
That's what we need.
Come here.
There we go.
Well done.
Shattered that mask.
You guys want to check out Nero?
Yeah, let's give him a try. All right, folks, we are now playing as Nero. So excited to see him with his Devil Breaker attacks. So there's also a demo available right now. It's not this level that we're seeing right now, but if you want to get a taste for Neo before the game launches on March 8th, go ahead and download that right now. You can jump in and already start playing.
So what do you notice about how Nero compares to Dante?
So the big thing I always, it was also the differentiating factor in Devil May Cry 4 and is here is that in this game it's the Devil Breaker, but he has the ability to kind of zap in enemies and close the gap using his arm. But then also just the customization of these different Devil Breakers. Right now I'm using the Rawhide, which I use by itself. You can charge up by holding down circle. So I'm using that there. Boom. Oh, man. And so I think that actually burns it. So that's that one. Yep. And now we have the Overture, which I just kind of want to check out these fully powered up versions of it. But so yeah, it's just cycling through these different breakers.
Yeah.
Oh man, and just harassing him, which is good crowd control. Oh, I
great.
love that. And just for the sake of variety, I'm just going to keep on.
I just love how entirely different their playstyles are. And in this level in particular, you could actually, at the beginning, it asks you if you wanted to play as V or as Nero, so
Yeah.
you could play through this entire mission as V as well.
Which is really cool, and definitely adds to like the replayability factor.
Yeah.
Oh, he's almost toast.
Man, these guys are annoying.
They are really tough, but I feel like I can
There we go.
The Devil Breakers are making me feel empowered.
All right. Well, you guys will get a chance to play as all 3 of the characters when Devil May Cry 5 comes to PS4 on March 8th. See you guys next time.